Leaving Bundaberg after a 2 week layover with wind and rough seas. So we took the outgoing tide out the Burnett River, and a bit of swell coming out the Burnett River there. Motored out with a southerly wind, pulled out the Genoa and headed north. This is going to be our longest leg at sea for a long time. It's at least 60, slightly over 60 nautical miles, and it was going to take us probably 14-15 hours. So and a skybird usually goes about 4 knots. So that's how it proved. It was a beautiful early part of the day sail, and the wind varied. It was very light to begin with. There's very little on this coast. There's very little habitation or towns. There's Bagara Waters, I think, in 1770, but there's no ports of refuge for keelboats unless you're exceptionally daring. If the tide was high in 1770, you could possibly sneak in there, but this is me putting the preventer on. Nice simple small sail plan Skybird's got, but nevertheless I always put a preventer on when we're running. I carry 2 poles. I've got a smaller, lighter weight pole, which you can see here. It's an older one, and I've got a heavy duty one as well. And in theory I could put out twin head sails and run the twin head sails. That's the classic when you're going across big stretches of water like the Atlantic or whatever, but coastal work you really got to be more nimble. A cruising ship would be nice, but traditionally, being an old race boat, Skybird has a symmetrical spinnaker, a small symmetrical spinnaker. What we don't show, we're here and it's all tranquil, but we had a huge wild night coming into Pancake Creek because the wind got up and we had to thread the needle between the outlying rocks and the Bustard Head lighthouse, and where Genoa got jammed on the forestay. But this is the result of the effort, the tranquility of Pancake Creek. There was more wind coming actually, so we actually motored right up the back of the creek where it's very shallow. It's too shallow for most keelboats, because there's catamarans up there, and it's such a tranquil spot. There's no habitation around here at all. It's part of the Rod Peninsula, and on the next bay I think there is some kind of habitation. I needed to do some work, so I hoisted the phone in a dry bag up the mast so I could hotspot it to my laptop, because I had to do some work for the magazine I run. So this was my theory, to try and get a hotspot signal. It sort of worked. I did actually get a signal, but yeah, the joys of working and cruising. A lot of the people around me are retired people, but I'm working, so I can't do that. And yeah, there's no signal for a long way. Gladstone is the nearest place to the north. It's about 40 miles north. But Pancake Creek was probably our favourite place in the whole east coast that we've come to so far. Shallow waters, which when the tide goes out, I'm on sand here, so I motored in to get some flatheads. Eventually I did get a few flatheads during our stay. We ended up staying here for over a week because we wanted to enjoy some tranquility and some downtime. It was a hard trip up, and Carol got quite frightened with the nighttime approach to Pancake Creek, where we're purely relying on the chart plotter and a strong following wind, and you get some scary moments cruising. It's that's just the way of the cruising lifestyle. But then the wind came in from the south, as forecast, came in pretty strongly, and we got over 40 knots on the deck. We don't have a lot of heavy gear because this is an old race boat. We don't have like a chain lock, a big proper chain locker up front and everything, and it's a bit dramatic, when it gets heavy. So yeah, two anchors out, and with an anchor weight, which gives a better angle of attack for the anchor. But I didn't have a weight at this stage for the second anchor, which I did get eventually further up the coast. Behind us, we're in a so-called sheltered creek, but behind us, you'd end up on the sand if you dragged, and then it's quite tidal here. There's a fair tidal range, but inside we're all cozy as usual. The methyl stove, hiding out of the wind. This lasted for I think 3 days, this weather, and it remained in the south, but then we had a bit of a northerly blow as well. But what a lovely place to be weather bound in.